like 2 years. It was insane. And I thought, God, this is easy. Why didn't I do this full time earlier? Boy, when I hit that turn, that drawdown, and then I started changing everything I was doing and kind of chasing different time frames and different instruments and trying different things, and had never developed that discipline. And I just kind of blew up over a period of a couple of weeks and lost lost a lot of money. I did not retire because I'm putting 3 kids through college. So, well, 2 in college and 1 still in high school. So I didn't quite make that much money to retire. But yeah, I did. I actually did it. And, you know, I recovered from it by getting back to basics and getting back and by answering a lot of questions very truthfully about myself and trading. So here are my answers to those questions that I gave you earlier. And I'll say since then, over the past 6, 7 years, I've done great, and I've learned to be very steady and consistent. But I think the worst thing that can happen to a trader is to have instant success, because you will never get that proper discipline, because you don't have to. You get disciplined during the tough times, not during the easy times. So my answers to the questions are: my strengths are discipline. Now, it took me a while to develop it. Patience. I'm a very patient person. I will follow rules obediently. My weaknesses are, even though I'm patient, I'm easily distracted and I can lose focus. I kind of need things happening all the time, and I'm easily frustrated. So I get very frustrated if I have a losing trade, and then if I make a mistake on the next trade, or I'm up getting a cup of coffee or go to the bathroom or whatever, or on the phone, and I miss a trade that wins or something, that frustrates me, and it tends to throw me off for a day or two. And I know that about myself. And I've learned this by recording things in a journal. I'm available most of the day to trade, but I only want to trade for a few focused hours in the morning. I can keep that focus good for about 2-3 hours, and then after that, I'm kind of finished. In the futures market, which I trade every day, 2 to 4 trades a day, that's all I want to take. But I don't really want to have, I know I'm going to have a day where I don't get any trades. I've only had 1 trade today, 1 winning trade in the morning, and haven't done anything else the rest of the day. And on ETFs, I only want to do a few trades per month. I don't want to day trade ETFs. My max daily loss in futures would be I can walk away peacefully if I had a $200 per contract losing day, or 2% in ETFs is kind of my max drawdown level. My goal is $800 per week per contract in futures. I'm only going to trade about 2 hours a day. I'm trying to pick up a couple of winning trades, call it a day. I'd rather trade more contracts and take fewer trades. And then if I do 50% annually in ETFs in my IRA, I'm happy. I tend to do much higher than that, or I have the last few years. But, I set these goals. I tend to do better than this in futures, but I don't want to set goals that I'm not achieving. I'd rather raise my goal next year than lower it. So, because psychologically, I think that's a confidence builder. And believe me, I've been doing this a long time, not as long as some of the other speakers we've had, but you're constantly learning, you're constantly building your confidence, you're constantly working on discipline. This is an evolutionary process that lasts a lifetime. It's not like one day you wake up and you're a great trader and that's it. Because you see it in these hedge fund managers that blow up and lose $500 million over a couple of days after 20 successful years. It is a constant evolutionary process. I measure my success on monthly returns. I could care less about the end of the day or the end of the week. I'm measuring it on a monthly basis. That, I think, keeps my perspective proper and allows me a reasonable time to measure my success. And I keep a journal and do so diligently. I log what I was thinking at the time of the trade, what was going on in the market. I log what might have been a distraction. Oh, my son was in the room asking me a question about something. He wasn't in school today, and I got distracted, and maybe did I make a mistake, that kind of thing. And then I define myself as a trader. I'm a 5-minute, 5-day trader, and the single most important thing to me is I want to move my stop quickly. I want to reduce risk. That's important to me. Now, Betty, who founded Right Angle Trading, these are her answers to the same questions. And you'll see they're a little different from mine, and she trades differently than I do. We trade the same methodology, the same indicator set, but different instruments, different time frames to accommodate our strengths and weaknesses and goals. So her strengths are, energy, perseverance, ability to learn from mistakes, belief in self. Her weaknesses are she tends to overtrade, take too many trades. She's stubborn. She'll hang in something for too long. And she'll become distracted just as I do. She's available to and wants to trade all day, every day the market's open. My God, the woman loves to trade. She's just so passionate about it. It's amazing to see. And she wants to trade all day. That doesn't work for me. She'll take 6 trades in a day on ETFs, day traded ETFs, and futures 4 to 8 trades a day. She trades a different instrument that I do in a much faster time frame, more of a scalper. About the same on allowable drawdown, and a little bit higher goals annually because she's trading more than I do as far as the number of trades she's taken. And she bases her success on weekly returns. And just like me, keeps a journal diligently, including a daily trading review. And that means going back through your charts at the end of the day and be really honest. If you made a mistake, I made a mistake the other day. One of my indicators was not right. I was poured a cup of coffee. I ran back into the room. I got kind of lucky on it. My stop moved up to break even. I ended up on a break even trade. I didn't lose money on it. But at the end of the day, I had to say, you know what, I made a mistake. And I made a mistake because I was rushing and I wasn't, sitting there focused. And she defines herself as a 2-minute, 2-hour trader. And most important thing to her is to lock profit quickly. So she is trading, in 5-minute time trades, 5-minute time frames intraday on ETFs, and trades in share bars on the ES. And I forget, it's a fib number like 4783 or something, or the share bars she's trading on the ES, and she's scalping for, like 5-6 ticks. So she's very different than I am in a trader, and yet it works for us. So I'm going to move in. Kind of the important point here is, if you try to adopt a trading methodology, an instrument, or a time frame that doesn't fit in with your answers of these questions, I contend that's in conflict with your own personality. You will never have a chance to develop the discipline you need to be a successful trader. And I know, because after I kind of blew up, I spent a little time chasing systems. Oh, I want to try this. Oh, I want to try that. And nothing I did really fit in at that time with my personality and kind of what I have been through. And that can do more psychological damage to you. And I don't mean permanent as a person, but I mean as far as your trading psychology, than to the point that you may never be able to recover and really gain that success again, because you'll never have the confidence level. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'm going to show you what I did yesterday. So I trade the NQ range bar, and I'm going to give away a few little technical tips here and tricks that I use. I trade NQ range bars, 1.5 in TradeStation. It's a 6-tick set-in in Ninja. So I'm trading 6-tick range bars. And remember, I'm a 5-minute trader intraday. I want to be in a trade for 5 minutes. I take trend continuation. I don't trade anything choppy. So for example, I'll go back to my live chart today. I wouldn't take anything in this choppy mess. There's no trend here to trade, so I just kind of sat aside. I'll go back and review that at the end of the day and make sure I didn't make anything. But so this is yesterday morning. I don't trade the first half hour of the day. I want news to get out of the way. And then I'm really focused for about a 2-hour period from CME time about 9:05 to about 11:05. And then I will take a trade in the next 2 hours if I see a really nice trade set up, and I did it yesterday, if I'm feeling good and confident. So these are, you trade 5 minutes charts, you do the total. That's a pretty funny comment. Anyway, here was a long trade I had yesterday. It came, about an hour after the open. I got into it. The trade went pretty quickly my direction. So my stop's up to break even once it goes about 11 ticks in my favor. And I hit my target up here of about $100 target is what I'm shooting for on the NQ per contract. And I will trail. I didn't trail this trade. I should have. I just didn't. I feel like we're in kind of slow, choppy trading right now because going into the holidays, so I'm not really trailing. Normally, I would trail this, get my stop up to a couple of ticks profit. And my target was hit in 8 minutes. So that was actually a little longer than I'd like to be in the trade, but we're a little bit slow right now. But you can see how the trade fit into my criteria for a trade. I'm trading with the trend. It was during the period of time. I'm on the West Coast in Los Angeles, so this is 7:30 my time. I want time to wake up, get in tune with the market, see what the news is, etc. It kind of fit in with everything that I described myself. I was only in the trade for 8 minutes. My first trade of the day wins. And what my chart is this is the yellow line is a 20-period EMA. And if you're trading a shorter, meaning 1 minute, 3 minute range bars, anything, a 20 period EMA does a really good job of recognizing important price pivots during a trend. And you can see, you'll see throughout my pictures how when you get a price pivot, it often, in a continuation trend, and that's what I'm looking for, a trend continuation trades, that price pivot will often occur right around the 20 period EMA. I also have a kind of a whacked out Keltner channel that I use for trailing a position, and a 50 period EMA that I like to see, on something like this where I can see the 20 period EMA approaching the 50 EMA, although we had a little bit of a downtrend and now I'm looking at a trend reversal, so this is a higher risk trade. And then I have a whacked out kind of MACD down here that I only pay attention to the histogram. So as long as my histogram is green, I go long. I only go short when my histogram is red. And this allows me and this is a stochastic with our custom inputs that I use as my momentum indicator. And so I had a signal to go long. And this is kind of what we teach in our futures trading course, is this process. So I had a signal to go long. I'm out in 8 minutes. These are range bars. Again, these are range bars, 1.5, so 6-tick range on the NQ, which very much fits my personality and my goal to hopefully be in and out of a trade in 5 minutes. Next trade I took yesterday was a short trade right here. Again, you see how a key pivot occurs right at the 20 EMA. We had the 20 crossing under the 50. I had a setup in my stochastic. My MACD is red. So I go short right here. And within my rule set, once it goes about 10 ticks on a short, I have my stop at break even, and 11 ticks I'm at one, and I have this all automated in my Ninja, to a 1-tick profit. So I was in this trade for 7 minutes, and again, a little bit longer than those 5-minute trades I like, but we're in kind of choppier holiday, slower trading. And I know I may be in a trade 10 minutes, 15 minutes even. But what was important about this trade is it went far enough that my stop moved to a 1-tick profit, came back up and stopped me out. But again, one of the things that is most important to me is I want to reduce my risk as quickly as possible. So I enter any trade with an initial $90 risk per contract. I immediately move that. The second it's moving my direction, that moves to about a $60 stop loss per contract versus my goal of $100. And then I'm quickly moving my stop into a 1-tick profit. So all of this fit into everything that I said. Everything about this trade fit into all of those questions that I answered earlier. So I'm very comfortably doing this. And you can see this is right at the end of that 2-hour period. So I had 2 trades, a winner and a loser. Now I saw another setup a little bit later on the day. I will take trades. I'll never take a trade after 1300 CME time. And I don't normally trade during lunch, but this was such a beautiful setup here. And the market was moving pretty slowly, and it just had everything going for it. I really liked what was going on. So I went ahead and pegged this trade yesterday. This is about as late as I'd enter a trade, about 12:30 CME time during lunch. Warren, that is so funny that you say that. Warren says he doesn't trade on Wednesdays. I know so many traders who don't trade on Wednesdays because it's known as an incredibly volatile day, right? Typically Wednesdays are the most volatile market days. And a lot of that has to do, with weekly repositioning for weekly options, expiration, et cetera. There's reasons for that. So anyway, I took short here, much longer in the trade than I would have preferred, but fortunately my stop was gradually moving down. And that's the most important thing to me, reducing risk, reducing risk, reducing risk. And this hit my full target after 14 minutes in the trade. So that's what I did. Now, the day before, I'll tell you, the day before I think I had a loser and a winner. A break-even day. It's been kind of a choppy, goofy week. So, I was kind of trying to take the trades yesterday, try to get my money made. I only had 1 trade today. Fortunately, it won this morning. And then I kind of wanted to pop in here and watch the webinar. I'm not going to trade tomorrow. It's the day before, going into the holiday weekend. Certainly won't trade the half day on Monday. But I finished up hitting a nice little winning streak here at the end of the week, which is nice. Doesn't always happen. Trades lose. It's part of the game. And then on ETFs, if you go back, how did I define myself? A 5-minute, 5-day trader. So I trade the same basic, slightly different indicator set, but same basic type of trades. These trend continuation trades, and I've taken 2 trades in my IRA over the month of December on the Dow. And I've actually taken more than that, but I'm just going to show the Dow. And I've had, quite a few win. I had a couple of losers, but I went long here off a DDM 240-minute chart at the conclusion of this candle, and I exited 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 days later, so right in that 5-day parameter. So again, everything about this, the trade went my direction right away. I was moving my stop up very quickly. I get my exit signal up here, and I'm out exactly in my 5-day parameter. I come back, I get another long signal. This is what I was in for 2 days, and I exited yesterday. And one thing I never do when I'm showing my trades, I very rarely ever just show winning trades. I'll tell you, I had a losing trade right here. So I can tell you right here on the DDM, I had gone long the DXD for a short, and that trade lost. So I want to make sure to point out, because losing trades are part of the game. I know that. No system is going to be 100%. No trader is going to be 100%. And that's something we all have to get used to as traders. And one of the ways that I do that is by the methodology I'm trading. Trend continuation allows me to move my stop very quickly, and then I feel better about my reduced risk position. So anyway, that's kind of what I've done, recently, and gives you a look at exactly how the indicators I'm using. Because I'm going to pop back over to my live chart. The indicators I'm using, this is about the right amount of information that I want to look at. Anything more than this, I'm going to get confused. Anything less, I feel like I might be flying kind of blind. So this is a chart that I like, that I'm comfortable, and I can glance at, and I think this is so important. You should be able to glance at your chart from across the room and instantly know whether you should be long, short, or neutral, and be able to see a trade set up, processing within a second or two. If you have more like, that first trader I showed you that I know, I could never process that amount of information in the amount of time it takes for a trade setup. It's just going by too fast. So anyway, I hope this is beneficial to everybody. We have a minute or two left. If anybody has any questions, I'll just tell you, keep a trading journal. Whatever you're going to trade, make sure it fits in, with your personality, because that's how we develop the discipline. We can't just change our personalities to fit our trading methodology, right? You have to pick a methodology, a time frame, and an instrument that fits in with your nature in order to develop that discipline. And it's a hell of a lot easier to develop the discipline when you do that than you're off to meditate now. I've never been one for the morning meditation. I do go for a walk. I go for a short little 10-minute walk to kind of clear my head in the morning and get me set up to trade. I've known traders that have bought a system, and it was so juxtaposed to their own personality that they could never be successful with it. And ultimately, we can't really change our personalities, right? They are what they are. So anyway, that's a look at it. If you're interested in what we do at Right Angle Trading, let me give you our website, www.rightangletrading.com. After the first of the year, we're going to have some really nice package special on some of our trading products, and we're going to be launching a new service, which is our Active Trader SMS intraday alerts from like hourly time frames, which can be kind of fun. Betty's really huge on the ETF markets. And if anybody has any questions or ever wants to shoot, love talking about trading, shoot me an email, Brad Powell at rightangletrading.com or Betty H at rightangletrading.com. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to thank Martin and Chuck and the people at Morgan and Chuck and Trading Pub for having me back again. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and very happy holidays to everybody. So enjoy, and good trading to you. Morgan? Chuck?
Hey, Giles, we're going to go ahead and turn the room over to you. I'm sorry, I thought Morgan was going to jump in there, but I guess he's still settling in. So, guys, this is